The Midnight Walk, made by Moonhood, is an extremely ambitious project that was released last year. The company previously created works like Lost in Random, a uniquely artistic journey where the fate of citizens of the Kingdom of Random are determined by a roll of a dice. I really enjoyed Lost in Random, so I had high hopes for the Midnight Walk, hoping that Moonhood could capture the same magic that Lost in Random had. What I did not expect was them to completely outdo themselves on every level, creating a horror masterpiece with the most beautiful visuals I've ever seen. It literally left me with goosebumps while playing. The Midnight Walkers won a couple of awards for Best VR Game, but I gotta say that I'm really glad they released the game in non-VR mode too, as I wouldn't have played it otherwise. I really don't think these awards are enough justice for just how much love was poured into the game. 700 models, yes 700, were sculpted out of clay, cardboard and paper mache, including the characters and props, which is just absolutely insane. These models were then 3D scanned and animated into a stop-motion style. There's nothing quite like this, a hauntingly beautiful world that comes to life with these amazingly detailed models. Some of these models are terrifying, paired with horror gameplay mechanics that have you run and hide, or stealth to complete puzzles. Then adding an immersive story paired with an emotional soundtrack truly brings this piece of art together. It's going to be hard for me to put into words just how in awe I was of this game, but I must try because the Midnight Walk deserves all the attention it can get. Of course, spoilers for the entirety of the Midnight Walk, and if you like this sort of content, I make analysis videos on games, mostly horror based on this channel, so don't forget to like and subscribe.
Fire? Hey, I'd almost forgotten how it felt. And salutations, burnt one. Fancy meeting one of your kind here. You're the caretaker of this little firecracker? I reckon you must be headed for Moon Mountain. Am I right?
The Midnight Walk is set in a strange world submerged in darkness. The game is narrated throughout in a sort of poetic way and is separated by chapters. Each chapter explores different stories of the villagers of the world. We awaken, broken, deaf and blind, as a person called the Burnt One. Collecting our parts from the mysterious creatures, we regain our hearing and sight. We find a large matchbox with some matches, giving us the ability to light our way through the darkest paths. Starting by lighting a nearby bonfire, we come to the realization that the Burnt One plays an important role, causing the creatures to finally feel safe to come out. The first enemy is revealed, this horrific looking thing, and we light up a small pot on the ground. This is Potboy, our companion throughout the game. Initially he runs away, but we soon discover he loves eating coal, so at least he won't be disappointed in Santa's Christmas gift. After some simple puzzles and hiding from monsters in closets, we discover from a recording that the monsters are after the fire. The opening scene plays, and we look up to the skies to see the place called Moon Mountain, the end goal for the Burnt One and Potboy. This is elaborated on by a mysterious twin duo called the Soothsayers, telling us that Potboy is the last flame left in the world. Continuing on, we meet Housy, another companion that follows us to each chapter. He acts as a resting point in the dark world. After some more hiding in the darkness and a chase scene, we finally meet an evil-looking creature called the Molgrim and venture onwards to a campfire. Lighting it, we meet the Soulfisher, who is lured from his slumber after feeling the warmth of the fire. He tells us we must keep Potboy alive at all costs, as it's the only thing that matters. After meeting the Eyes of Darkness itself, we throw a match into it to go forward. This is a small hub with many bodiless creatures you can talk to, including a guy who is obsessed with sticks. After stealing his favourite one and making him sad, we use it as a lever and are met with a massive head, who tells us to put our flame to use to enter Nobodyville and meet the headmaster. The people here don't take kindly to us, saying that as somebody walking around Nobodyville with arms and legs is uncivilized. I think they're just jealous of our walking capabilities. After walking upon a council run by the headmaster, they are not happy about us using fire, explaining that it was used for war in the past. Unfortunately, the Molgrim attacks, eating the headmaster, sucking out the fire, and disappearing. One of the other heads takes his place, and she grants us passage through Nobodyville to take care of the Molgrim for them. She gives us a match launcher, a sort of gun that launches matches afar. Taking a lovely flight with Potboy, we enter the Molgrim's lair. We see a cutscene of the Molgrim mourning over a dead creature. We must collect shards to light the cauldron near the dead creature. We dance with some masked bodies and have to deliver a head hiding in a bin to a body. The head shares some insights on how sad they are, wishing things were different. Taking another flight, we travel up a mountain to find the Moonbird, who tells us the story of the Molgrim and Nobodyville. The people of Nobodyville killed off the Molgrim population, and the last remaining Molgrim wanted revenge, which is why she attacked them. We head back to the cauldron with shards and the cutscene plays. The Molgrim is finally at peace, concluding the tale of the loathsome Molgrim. The headmistress thanks us, and we continue our journey to Moon Mountain. Discovering a fallen Potboy, we realise our mission is as important as ever. Potboy is the only one left of his kind. Next is the tale of Coalhaven. After helping Potboy further up the windy mountain, we see a mysteriously ghostly figure in the distance. Meeting a guy in a coffin, he explains that Coalhaven had a thief that stole the light of the town, making the villagers unable to keep the furnace going. We must collect bones of a body to unlock the chains around the furnace. Exploring further, the last remaining villagers say to follow the trail of burnt matches to the house on the hill. Finding a mask that has the ability to recall memories, we place it on a body who tells us the key to the house is in the woods. After stealing the key from the monsters and being chased away, we open the house to get another bone. The coffin guy says that the darkness took over the bodies of the villagers, making them cold and wicked. There are more villagers around, and they reveal that the villagers murdered the thief despite her being only a child. The ghost that has been following us was the ghost thief, who came back to haunt the villagers. Here we meet an old man who misses the thief's singing despite her causing the town's downfall. We find an instrument for him which plays her singing and get the last bone piece, the thief's head. Unlocking the furnace, Potboy lights it, bringing fire to the lost town. When the ghost thief appears, she asks us to light one more match for her so she can rest in peace. After talking to the Soulfisher, our housey friend gets taken away and we must rescue him. We use the monsters to stand on pressure plates to venture forward, and start the tale of the craftsman's heart. The Moonbird appears and says there can't be a tale without a spark, so we put Potboy to good use. We are tasked with lighting the craftsman's heart, and follow a lit fuse throughout the city. The groundskeeper is on a podium hunting for us, and we must hide and stealth our way through. Making our way to a theatre, Potboy climbs into the projector, and we start watching the craftsman's heart. It tells us the tale of the craftsman and his daughter, who he made to rule the city, but she didn't want to, deciding to leave the city for good. We finally light his heart, and he gives us back Housy to thank us, and we continue on the midnight walk, to the tale of the dark. Potboy is growing stronger, lighting the path in delight and happy to be useful. But he lights Housy on fire, and Housy burns, our other companion gone. Potboy is distraught, overwhelmed by his power, and makes his flame go out and breaks his head. We put him back together, following the path of stars, and Soulfisher tells us we have a tough decision to make and we must follow our heart. Potboy keeps running, but catching up to him, we find him with Auntie Murkle, who seems to give Potboy the hope he needs to continue. But then Potboy is taken by the darkness, and we travel through our story once again of those we've helped along the way. Finally, we're at the tale of Moon Mountain. The Soothsayers speak their final words, that Potboy's flame is extinguishing, but he should just have enough left. We head further and further up the mountain, finding the Potboys who lost their lives along the way. We shield him through the snow and wind and make it to the top. Potboy has one last mission, to light the sun, but he can't reach it. But our burnt down friend Housy appears, and he acts as a platform for Potboy to reach. Here there is a choice: burn the sun and reignite the world, completing our mission, or continue in the darkness, what we've come to know well. Two endings for our journey. If you reignite the world, Potboy destroys himself in the process, but we see the villagers enjoy the sun. If you choose not to complete your mission, the world stays the same. Potboy survives and you continue the midnight walk, heading down the path one last time with your companions. Both endings are very similar, but it doesn't really seem like there's a concrete good ending. While the goal was to light the world, I prefer the ending where we don't. Losing the one companion you walked with the whole way is heartbreaking, and we can learn to live with the darkness and continue our journey. And that's what the Midnight Walk is about, the journey, to continue on despite thinking everything is lost. To protect the only hope, Potboy, your companion. Potboy is extremely important as he is the key to bringing back light to the world. The Burnt One has a job, to protect Potboy at all costs on the journey to Moon Mountain. While Potboy is a force to be reckoned with, you as the player have to direct him to do things. He puts his full trust in you, which builds throughout the game. Potboy does not speak and makes only occasional sounds, with his communication mostly being through actions and expressions. When Potboy loses hope, you really feel that sorrow, cracking his head and letting his fire go out. He's distraught over burning a friend down. He gets visibly sad seeing the dead Potboys, and is scared of the massive monsters. On the other hand, he shows joy for the world, happy that he is able to provide light, and he'll sit at the campfire with Soulfisher or Auntie Murkle, relaxing and listening. It's amazing they managed to capture all these emotions without Potboy saying any words. Throughout seeing all of these emotions, the ending leaves you with a hard choice. Potboy has literally one job, but it takes away his life and seems to be the wrong choice after you've done so much together. And that's the whole point of this game. It's not about getting to the destination, It's the journey, and it's very powerful in getting that message across. Housy plays more of a background role. Obviously he's your house, letting you relax in a cozy place to watch films and listen to music. But when Potboy accidentally burns him down, he does not have any resentment towards him. He comes back right at the end, with what little there is left of him, and helps Potboy reach his goal. It really ties your two companions together, realizing that they will always look out for each other.
Stick. It's my favorite stick in the whole wide world. It's the best one in my collection. I got no better stick than this stick. Can't believe I found this stick. Oh, it's a keeper. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that stick. Oh, sticks. I love sticks. Can't get enough of them. But this one is the best by far. Oh, I love it so much. I'm gonna keep it forever and ever. It's gonna be on my tombstone.
Next, let's talk about Nobodyville and the Molgrim. When first entering Nobodyville, there seems like a clear predator versus prey situation, with the Molgrim posing a problem for the villagers. The villagers of Nobodyville are bodiless, heads sitting on top of stumps. They make rude remarks, calling our limbs disgusting and that we don't belong here. There's clearly some underlying resentment. There's only a few people who aren't rude, including Stick Guy, who just loves sticks. There's also the headmistress who takes over after the headmaster is gobbled up by the Molgrim. She has witty remarks and asks for help. The Molgrim continues to seem like the evil one until we come across her mourning another dead Molgrim. As we know already, the villagers attacked the Molgrims first, killing off her kind and stealing their fire, and she wants to take revenge. She's a victim of people, a misunderstood creature that you can feel sorry for. The villagers are not so nice after all. When giving the Molgrim fire, she is at peace. She finally feels seen and cared for because of your actions, making her a fantastic enemy. There's also the great beheading story. You can find a guillotine in the village and reenact the beheading with Potboy. It seems as if when they took the fire from the Molgrim, they went insane and started fighting each other. To stop it, they removed their bodies. I can understand them removing their bodies to stop their actions if they had no control over their movement, but I don't really understand why the fire would make them insane in the first place. After this chapter, you can see the bodies walking towards Nobodyville again. They accept that they can't be nobodies forever. It's a nice touch. I feel like out of all the chapters, this is actually the best one. It sets up the emotional tone for the rest of the game and lets you realize that this world is messed up.
Welcome to Coalhaven, newcomer. Good to see you flame in these parts again. I'll be your guide tonight. This furnace here used to run on coal and fire, don't you know? But a thief stole all our matches, wasted them in greed, you see. Now the ghost has come to smite the wicked and punish the thief who killed us.
The ghost thief is very similar to the Molgrim in a way. A young girl that steals matches after being upset that the stars are gone from the sky. Yes, she is a thief, but she's so young and maybe doesn't realize the consequence of her actions. She essentially wastes what little light they have left, and the villagers can no longer light the furnace, slowly dying out. The ghost thief quite literally causes Coalhaven to die, and the villagers want their revenge. They kill her, even though she's only a little girl. But unlike the people of Nobodyville, some villagers actually show remorse for killing her. There's some good left in the world after all. The most remorseful person is the old man, who just wants to hear the little girl's voice sing again. What makes it even more upsetting is that he holds onto her skull, clinging on to what little is left of her. On the other hand, many villagers are angry that Coalhaven is doomed without the furnace, and it's completely understandable why they feel that way. The ghost thief herself continues to haunt the town after her passing. She follows us around in sections trying to kill us, but it seems to be a bit of an illusion since she can close your eyes and she disappears. She's not evil really, but her lingering presence seems to give the remaining villagers a sense of unease, which probably makes them regret their actions more. There's shell phones you can pick up throughout the game that give you more insight into the characters, and a particularly powerful one can be found at the start of Coalhaven.
Hello, Mother. The well said to give it a match, so you and I could talk again. I hope this works, because that was my last one, and well, it's cold now, but it doesn't matter. We can finally talk after everything. So, how are you? Do they have fire where you are? Not the hellish kind, I hope. Is Father there too?
It heavily implies that it's the ghost thief speaking. A last message to her mother. It seems like a dying message. It's really depressing. It makes you think how things would have been different if the world had light, if people could live normally. After lighting the furnace, you finally see the ghost of the thief up close and grant her one last star, a match to close out her story. The sad story of the Craftsman and his daughter is foreshadowed earlier than you might expect. You can see the daughter walking along the path before you even reach Coalhaven. She's walking away from the city the Craftsman created before you even know of her existence. The Craftsman is a large entity who is first seen capturing Housy. He creates his own city, but his heart is not in the right place. We learn more of his story with his daughter through film reels played through a projector. The geniuses at Moonhood made these films in real life, making movable models to tell a story. It's cleverly done. The Craftsman, realizing his city is a bit hollow, wanted to make his own daughter. He intended to control her, making her rule over the city. The Craftsman does not know how to love properly, as he only knows how to control, and her standing up for herself makes him incredibly angry. He wants to protect her, but is way too possessive, and so she leaves the city, intending to live her life for herself with no one to control her. This also links to the relationship that the player has with Potboy. You are essentially leading him through everything. You are controlling his every move. The Craftsman shows inability to let go of the one he tries to love, but his approach to it is different to that of the character you play. You never hurt Potboy, but the Craftsman has hurt his daughter many times. Seeing her walk along the path makes more sense now. When you finally light the Craftsman's heart, he seems to finally accept what he's become. The people he's made thanks him, and he decides to continue his journey and live with the consequences of his actions.
Hark! Your fire is dying, but the last embers will light the final fireplace and send your Potboy home. Can you do what you must? Naturally, you must. It is destined.
There's some other characters you meet along the way, and they all serve a different purpose. Take for example the Soothsayers. 2 heads conjoined into one body. They act as an observer, watching you make your choices throughout the game. They warn you of your path, but they do so in an unsettling way. As for the Soulfisher, he is a similar character, but his small parts let the player relax at a campfire and listen to his words of wisdom. It's like a break from the darkness, which contrasts the Soothsayers' dim words. There's also Auntie Murkle. Throughout the game you can find film reels you can watch inside HAUNTINGLY. This tells us her story. She ventures through each town and asks who took the sun away to each of them. They cannot give her answers, and so she continues on until she finally meets darkness herself. She's been on an emotional journey to find the sun and feels lost. The darkness tells her that she does not need to do anything, and that she realizes now that she needs to learn to live without a sun. And so she heads back home, reminiscing on her journey of acceptance. When you finally meet Auntie Murkle in person, she has already ventured the path you and Potboy have taken. She has come to accept the darkness and the fact that she can't change the outcome. She acts as the last push we need to complete the journey. While the game does not have combat in a traditional sense, it does have different enemy types that you will have to avoid. You can hide in wardrobes or in small holes and wait for enemies to pass, or sneak around them. The first enemy is a crawler, the most basic enemy, which you meet early on, a creepy husk with stick-like arms and legs, almost malnourished looking. They have stitched up eyes and massive mouths. They will get distracted if they find a lit fire for a bit and suck out the fire, letting you walk by them unnoticed. Apparently, they need the fire to pay back a debt from the dark itself. The crawlers come back later but look different, with a massive orange glowing eyeball in the middle of their foreheads. By closing your eyes, you can stop them from trying to get to you, becoming statues. This was a cool mechanic, as you would have to lure them to pressure plates using them to advance. Next is the Molgrim, who is cute but terrifying at the same time. A massive pointy nose and baring her teeth with massive blue glowing eyes that will pierce into your soul. She quite literally floats around the map looking for you. She's really speedy. This section will make you feel very uneasy, because even if you hide in places, she'll sometimes poke her head in and try and eat you. It feels like you're never really safe here. The ghost is a mysterious figure with a large sheet over its body. With its two dark eye slits in the sheets, it crawls fast on its 4 legs. The young ghost thief who's taking her revenge. I believe she isn't real, because the closed eye mechanic is very prevalent here. She disappears when using it and stops chasing you for a while. There's a brief enemy in the Craftsman section called the Groundskeeper. She stands on a podium and will shoot you if you reveal yourself. She's technically the only regular person in the game that tries to kill you. I wouldn't say the ghost is really a person as such, more like a spirit. You just have to stealth around and solve some minor puzzles while you do it. Afterwards, she talks to you like normal. Finally, the Grinners are an enemy that are kinda like spiders but with 6 legs. They have a shell around them that opens up to reveal their terrifying faces, eyes popping out of their skulls. They walk really slowly when they don't see you, but if they find you, they will catch up to you unless you hide quickly. Towards the end of the game, there's loads of them everywhere. They don't attack, but their faces opening up when you get close is horrifying.
Candles have not been lit since before the great beheading. Now fire is back. Maybe fire can help us with our Molgrim problem. The headmaster will decide. Enter, then.
The gameplay mechanics and puzzles of the Midnight Walk all revolve around lighting up the dark. It starts simple, lighting a match from a matchbox and using it on a candle to provide more light. When meeting Potboy, he can start doing things for you, like keeping a candle lit, going into a small tube to get to a place inaccessible to you, or standing on pressure plates. I generally didn't have too much issues with his AI, although sometimes you might need to ask him to do a command again. Later on, you have to use Potboy in the fire as a heat source, as it gets colder and snowier. The match launcher is a sort of weapon you can use, although it's more to distract enemies rather than shoot them outright. It adds range to your ability, and you can shoot to ignite far away places by loading it with matches. Usually it's a target you have to hit, lighting a candle. The other big mechanic is the closing eyes mechanic. Sometimes you might have to close your eyes in the game to open something, like a gate or new path. Sometimes it stops a monster from reaching you. It is enhanced by adding audio to it, where you close your eyes and have to listen to a sound. The closer you get, the louder it gets. It's a really immersive mechanic. There are a couple of cool puzzles that weren't just simple mechanics. Take for example this one in the Craftsman's Heart chapter. You have to turn a statue of cutouts to make the shadows appear. What's so unique about this is the cutout is designed in a way that shows shadows of both the craftsman and his daughter. Super cool that they managed to design it so it shows both. There's also the puzzle where you meet the moonbird for the first time. You have to piece the story of Nobodyville together by lighting candles, making sure it's in the right order. I like how they made this a puzzle rather than just telling the story outright. The collectibles in this game are also worth your while as they actually have a purpose, giving you insights on different parts of the game. There's clay figures that you can collect that give you a bit more insight into each one. They are people or monsters you meet. Music discs you can play in Housy, and just chill watching the fire. The film reels, which tells a story in itself about Auntie Murkle, who without these reels we would pretty much know nothing about her purpose when finally meeting her. The shell phones provide messages from the past. For example, the ghost thief before she dies has multiple, an important one being where she tells her parents that the villagers are hunting for her. Then there's one more of the villagers telling her to confess her crimes. It's a great way of providing more background information. Outstanding is how I would describe the environmental design for this game. As mentioned previously, those 700 models that Moonhood put love and care into made this game come to life. Each model is very unique. There's some models that you only see briefly, but yet they still made them in real life to scan them into the game. Things like these little fairy bird things that fly away, or masks of villagers that you only see once. And of course, there's the world itself. Places like the Craftsman's City appears to be built out of cardboard and paper. And of course, they made Housy literally burn in the game, as he's made of flammable materials too. Bringing the world to life, animating it in stop motion, is not often seen much in video games, but it provides a special feeling to the world. It's crazy how much detail there is in this world. Stuff in the background, like a big train car walking over a bridge, the massive looking trees, stars appearing in the sky as you get closer to your mission, the remains of burnt matchsticks that desperate villagers used trying to stay alive, the rain falling for the first time, and the panic of you and Potboy as you run for shelter. All these details are perfect at linking the environment to the story itself.
In the midst of darkness, lo and behold, a friendship kindled. The fire that spread with it seemed so small against the vast night sky, small and flickering, but defiant.
The soundtrack is completely captivating. captivating, perfectly capturing the emotional elements the game had to offer. I don't know if it's just me, but if I hear a beautifully sad piece of music, it will make me tear up. This game's soundtrack was no exception. It's always piano and violin that make me feel this way, and the music uses a lot of those two instruments, with also some saxophone and clarinet sprinkled in. I want to talk about a couple of tracks in particular. First is Moon Mountain. This track plays when you are making the final push up to the top of the mountain. Heavy wind blows, snow is everywhere, and you must protect Potboy at all costs. This piece gives me chills, like I'm personally in the snowy mountain right there with Potboy. Then there's the final fire. This song is played when you must make your choice to ignite the sun or not with Potboy. What makes this piece so outstanding is that it starts off with a lovely melody, but then they add layers of violins, making the song sound chaotic, extremely fitting for the end of the Midnight Walk. The icing on the cake regarding the soundtrack is that they literally gave it to everyone for free, including it in the price of the game, after they got praise for how good it was. As for the sound design, it's done remarkably well too. With a game built for VR, it really had to be immersive, using surround sound to make you feel like you're actually in the world. Things like sitting down by the campfire with Soulfisher. You can hear the crackles in your ear depending on what side of the campfire you're on. or the little pitter-patters of Potboy walking. It's also amazing to see an indie game have voice acting for every character, as it makes the world feel more alive. On the other hand, the horror elements of the sound design are horrifying. You can hear every step of the monsters looking for you, their screeching echoes into your ears. It's truly terrifying, but it makes these sections feel incredibly immersive. If you want an emotional horror experience through a gorgeous handmade world, this game is perfect. It doesn't overstay its welcome by being too long, and has a unique setting to keep you engaged. That, paired with the good music, brings it all together to make a beautiful walk through the midnight. Thank you for watching.